Hi everyone, Coach Eli here, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing and then banging the bell, selecting all notifications so that way I can help each and every one of you accomplish whatever it is that your hearts desire. With that being said, today I am putting out a very raw and real video. There really isn't going to be any editing on this. If I screw up, I'm going to leave it in there. I'm just going to speak from the heart. And that is something I feel that many creators are not doing. Many creators are editing their videos and using jump cuts. And I use jump cuts sometimes as well, especially if you're doing YouTube short videos to fit them in the minute slot. There's a time and place to use jump cuts, but there's also a time and place to just speak raw and real and from the heart and just put it out there in the way you recorded it, because I feel that is the best way to connect with, the good people out there. I'm looking to connect with good people that enjoy positive, uplifting content. People that, want to better themselves and continue striving to better themselves rather than, get caught up, like I always say, in endless, nonsensical, stupid drama that continues to happen all over YouTube, all over social media, and all over this world. Before I get to it, you're seeing this, this location where I'm recording from for the first time here. This is actually the studio where I record my live streams from, or actually do my live streams from. They happen live, and then, I record it, I record a backup copy on open broadcast software as I'm streaming live. And I also do some pre-recorded videos in here that require me to use my laptop to show screenshots, reaction videos. If I read a blog or, comment on a blog posting or Reddit posting and I want to show it on the screen, I do it in here in this studio. I wanted to show you folks what I go through each and every day as a YouTuber, just to set things up to allow myself to be able to speak to you, and how much pride I take doing this. I do take a lot of pride in doing this. Now, I'm recording this video on my iPhone 12 Pro Max, which obviously I'm looking right into it right now. I've got a selfie stick that's also a tripod that holds the iPhone. Out of the iPhone, I have a 3.5 millimeter adapter that allows me to plug in a 3.5 millimeter microphone or headset. There's a long 10-foot 3.5 millimeter extension cable that's coming all the way around to this microphone right here, which is a Rode Mini shotgun mic on a boom stand. I am showing you this boom stand here in the picture today so you folks get a feel of what I do and how I do it. I want to give you a raw and real feeling of what a YouTuber goes through to get their message out, okay? Typically, I would have this above me, like when I've done my bedtime stories with Eli or some raw videos from my couch, I have the microphone hanging down above my head, which still keeps the microphone close to me, but it's out of the picture. You want to have the microphone as close to you as possible when recording, because that gives you the best possible sound. Over here, you can barely see it. There's my Blue Yeti microphone I use for my live streams and any videos I do from my laptop from the studio in here. Over here, I believe you can see my Sony a6400, which I use for live streaming. I can also take some great digital pictures with it, but I haven't done that yet. I use it for high quality streaming. I don't think you can see it on the table. I have my Elgato Camlink right here, which is what I use to plug into the Sony a6400 and then into my laptop, so that way I can get that video feed in there. And this is my Dell laptop right here, the Dell XPS 9500 that I got about 6 months ago. Not trying to show off or anything. It set me back about $3,300. It's a great laptop, and it edits fast, and it allows me to run smooth live streams and high quality, yada, yada, yada. Behind me, you see my green screen, where I can change backgrounds when I'm, doing live streams from the studio here or pre-recorded videos. And there's one of the photographer's lights that I have on, shining on the green screen. I do have another photographer's light, but it's not on right now. It's not necessary for this video. I just kind of wanted to throw this in here to show you folks a little bit about what I do. And I have two LED lights that are shining at me. One is coming at me, directly, and then one is filling in the side shadows. I have taken a lot of time to really figure out how to get the best possible audio and video quality for you folks, on top of presenting a great message. So I wanted to give you folks a feel of, what it takes to just set things up before you can even press record and start recording your content. You also, should dress nice. I put a nice shirt on, I shaved, I put a nice hat on. There's a lot of work that goes into becoming a YouTuber to get your message out there. And when you've been doing what I've been doing for as long as I've been doing this for 5 years now, between a former channel I used to run and this channel now that I've been running for a little over 3 years. When you've been doing this as long as I've been doing it, and you're just not getting the traction, and when you're doing everything right in the ways people teach you how to penetrate the YouTube algorithm and how to, get your message out, and it's still not moving forward, that's when you start to dig deep and really wonder what's really going on here. And so I wanted to put out this video today. Let's get right to the meat and potatoes. You see my studio here. First time I've shown this. Maybe I'll do a more in-depth video on all my equipment and stuff like that down the road, but I'm going to wait until my channel gets a little more traction, because that video is going to take a lot of editing and time to put together. And right now, I'm just simply not getting the views to make it feasible for me to invest that much time in it. It's plain and simple. It's just not feasible. I'll do it when it's feasible. So the topic of this video is, one more thing I wanted to mention. Also, my laptop fans may be blowing, while, I'm recording this. And since my microphone is very close to my laptop, you might hear some fan noise in this video. I will put it through Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe Audition and try to use some noise, canceling, or noise removal and stuff like that. But there may still be some sounds from the laptop fans you may be hearing in the background that you typically don't hear, because my microphones are typically away from any, laptop sound or anything. But again, it's just going to give you a feel of the raw and real aspects I go through as a YouTuber, just to be able to put out my content to you folks as often as I do. So the topic of this video is, I'm very disappointed that YouTube won't recommend my positive content over drama. One more time. I'm very disappointed that YouTube won't recommend my positive content over drama. If you've been following me for a while, I've put out a ton of videos over the last couple of months. I've been putting out 2 to 3 pieces of content every single day at the highest quality possible. 4K at 60 frames per second. If you know what 4K is, it's the highest quality you can put out a video out today. Most people are still putting out videos at 1080p 30 frames per second, some 1080p 60 frames per second, and some people are even doing 4K at 30 frames per second. I'm doing 4K at 60 frames per second. Now, 8K is already available on some smartphones, but it's not mainstream yet, and I don't think it's going to get popular for a while. I won't go to 8K for a while, but 4K 60 frames per second is pretty much the highest quality you can put out video content at. It takes a lot of time first of all, it takes a lot of space to record it, which is why I got a 512 gigabyte iPhone 12 Pro Max. That was the most space I could get back then. And it's a large file, takes a lot of time to, render it out, transfer to the laptop, render it out, and then you have to upload it to YouTube. Fortunately, I have a fiber line where I can upload very fast to YouTube, but then it still takes processing time on YouTube's end. So, I put out very, very high quality audio and video content, but in addition, I feel I put out some of the best positive and uplifting content out here on YouTube. And it just makes me wonder why YouTube has not helped me get my message out when all they've been doing for the last several years is praising positive content, amongst creators. Like I said, I've been on this platform for 5 years now as a full-time YouTuber. Now, obviously, I was watching YouTube since it came out over 15 years ago. And I had a few other channels that I dabbled on. I used to run a networking organization, and I recorded some presentations that happened at my events, and I put them on a YouTube channel. But I didn't really try to be a full-time actual YouTuber until about 5 years ago, where I started my coaching business, and I figured this would be the best place to put my content out, pretty much share my tips and tricks, share my stories regarding what I've been through, share my failures and my successes, and also to share, how I learned from my failures. And through my failures, I was able to learn how to overcome those failures to be successful. And I share those stories because they relate to many people that have gone through similar things that I've gone through, and it's helped people work through them. So, I put out positive content all the time. Now, listen, I'm a human being, all right? I make mistakes. I made lots of mistakes, especially when I first came out here on YouTube as a full-time content creator 5 years ago. I got caught up with a group of people that I thought were good to work with, and they ended up being drama people. And there were some trolls and haters that found out about me. And these people were able to play the game with me, get me on some live stream panels, and they got me on there to purposefully trigger me to get a reaction, and then to make me into a lolcow and stuff like that. That did happen, and I overreacted several times during my first few years on YouTube. It wasn't purposefully done. I just didn't really know what was going on. I was kind of learning the ropes. So I said some pretty nasty and hateful things that I didn't mean because, these people pushed me to my outer limits and they manipulated me. They got me on some live stream shows. And when I got on there, they flipped the script on me and they just used me for entertainment purposes when I thought I was going on there to share my coaching tips and to help people, right? Okay. So, full transparency, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you search for me, Coach Eli or Elias Melas, whether you Google search me, whether you search me on YouTube, you're going to find some videos these people have put out where I said some nasty things. And these people have also, made up things about me. Now, some of the things that they've said are true. A lot of it is not true. Quite frankly, it doesn't really matter because there's only one thing that really matters. Do you get value from what I teach? Do you get value from the information I share? And does it help you move your life forward? Does it help uplift you? Does it help you through those days where you're feeling shitty, you're feeling like horrible, you're feeling like you just don't want to go on? But then you come across my video and you hear that I've been through exactly what you've been through or going through, right? And it gives you hope because now you can relate to someone. And when I share my story, or stories with you folks that you can relate to, maybe it'll help you work through it. And it has helped many people work through it. Now, excuse me. See, I'm not going to edit that out. I have allergies. And I've been recovering from, I thought I had a major version of the flu, but it's a mild version of the flu, and I'm feeling a lot better. But anyway, so I'm just disappointed that these people that, I used to associate with, they used me for a lot of content before I figured out the ropes out here. I'm not saying these people are successful YouTubers, but they're more successful than me. They're getting more traction than me. YouTube is recommending their videos more than mine. And it's very contradicting because a few years ago, this was at the end, I believe, of 2019 going into 2020, YouTube actually, put out a blog and stated that they're no longer going to allow creator-on-creator harassment. They're taking a stronger stance on creator-on-creator harassment. So YouTube started taking a stronger stance, or they claimed they were taking a stronger stance on creator-on-creator harassment. And, going from 2019 to 2020, they did start to take a stronger stance. And I started seeing many creators, removed for cyberbullying and harassment and attacking other creators. And throughout 2020, it seemed to be heading in the right direction, in my opinion. But in the beginning of 2021, I started noticing that they were kind of backing off of that, and they started to allow more creator-on-creator harassment. I mean, they're not going to come out and admit this, but they started having more of a tolerance for creators, attacking each other on this platform again. And another interesting thing that I saw in many different arenas of YouTube, many people started buying subscribers and watch time to qualify for monetization. And, I spoke out about this back, earlier on last year in 2021, that, YouTube's not going to approve these channels. YouTube, it's going to filter out that they're fake subscribers and it's fake watch time, and they will not approve these people into the YouTube partner program. So what happened? What ended up happening? These people, there have been many people in 2021, many people bought subscribers and, bought watch time and applied for monetization and were approved for monetization within a few days. Now, how fair is that to a channel like mine that comes out here each and every day, busts my ass for 3 years straight, puts out a ton of great content, earns a ton of watch time, busted butt to earn the subscribers I have? How fair is that to someone like me, right? And not only did these channels get approved in the YouTube partner program after buying subscribers and watch time, these people create stupid drama content that gets more traction than my content, and they get recommended more than my content. But wait, YouTube was saying, excuse me, YouTube was saying that we're taking a stronger stance against, creator-on-creator harassment, right? So that's one aspect where I feel YouTube is favoring this type of drama content and channels with store-bought subscribers and store-bought watch time, and they're approving these people in the YouTube partner program. Google and YouTube have the most sophisticated, algorithm on the planet. They could easily, not approve these channels. And there's probably a reason why they're approving them, because, it doesn't matter, how they get their ads out. As long as they have more monetized channels to put more ads out, they make more money. That's the bottom line, right? I guess the ad inventory started to come back, and they needed more channels to put, more ads on. So they started going against their own words. And I don't know if you folks remember, a few years before that, I think this was in 2018, that's when YouTube changed their qualifications for joining the YouTube Partner Program. It used to be you only needed 10,000 views and you qualify for monetization. Now you need 4,000 public watch hours in the previous 12 months, minimum 4,000 watch hours in the previous 12 months, and 1,000 subscribers, right? So they started getting more and more strict. And now it just kind of seems like, they're going back to the way it used to be. The YouTube is, in my opinion, kind of heading back to the wild, wild west. And it breaks my heart because the wild, wild west of YouTube was everybody creating drama on YouTube, talking smack about other creators, right? Creating drama in any way, shape, or form. And, that's the way people grew, right? I'm saddened because messages like mine are being left behind in the dust. And it sucks. Like, let me give you another example here. I came across this video today. I am subscribed to him. This is Tim Pool's channel called Tim Pool. This is the Tim Pool channel, but he also runs the Timcast IRL channel, right? And he put out a video titled, "Biden Failing So Bad, Americans Now Prefer Trump's Military Coup and Insurrection Over Democrats." And I sat there and I read that when I got the notification. And I'm like, dude, you will just agree with anything, or you'll just put out any story out there and just agree with it just to keep your traction going, right? Because Tim Pool has a drama audience. Tim Pool used to be more liberal and became more conservative, 4 years ago. And in my opinion, I feel he did it when he realized that the most active people on social media are the right-wing extremists, the conservative right-wing extremists, which I like to call the alt-right or the Trump supporters, right? So he's feeding his content in a way that's going to make him money and get views from the most active audience on YouTube. But is he being true to his beliefs? Is he being true to, his words, right? Okay. And he's an American journalist supposed to be, more neutral on this, right? And just share the stories, right? Right? But it appears to me that in order to really sell his message to this alt-right, right-wing extremist, Trump-supporting party that supports him, he has to be one of them. He has to act like one of them. He has to take their sides. If you're a real journalist, Tim Pool, you're going to be neutral and speak of the truth. Because I don't think there's any normal person on the planet that would prefer an insurrection on our capital, over anything. This is just a clickbait type of title where he stretched this story out just to get traction on it. And as of the time that I clicked on it, 30 minutes after it was released, it has 58,000 views. Of course, he has 1.29 million subscribers, right? And this is what he writes below in his description section. Let me read this to you. And let me tell you why I'm bothered that my positive message is being sandwiched for this crap, right? Biden failing so bad, Americans now prefer Trump's military coup and insurrection over Democrats. That's not true, Tim Pool. That's a bunch of hogwash garbage, drama instigating, clickbaity type of information. That's misleading, man. And maybe you're just reading a story, but you spun the title to get views, man. And this is the kind of stuff that is against YouTube's terms of service, right? And I'm not sitting here wishing any harm upon anyone's channels being shut down, but this is the kind of stuff that needs to be removed. And in my opinion, these are the types of people that need to be removed. All the phonies and the fakes, right? I'm not saying that Tim Pool's a phony or a fake, but he has changed compared to how he used to be. He has changed in a way that makes him more money, than being true to his message. He is not true to his message. I'm true to my message of what I do to help people out here. Furthermore, polls show that Biden currently trails Trump in the polls by almost 5%. And if the official narrative from the media is that January 6th was a military coup, insurrection, and that it is ongoing by that logic, the American people support insurrection over Democrats. Dude, that is you spinning your own narrative on it, or creating a fancy title, or just stirring up the pot in controversy. You know, Tim Pool, this is a video, in my opinion, the way it's titled is misleading, okay, and should be removed for violating community guidelines. Pushing the boundaries, right, Tim? Pushing the boundaries, right, to keep all eyes on you when you're not even true to your own message, right? Democrats are, I think he meant to say in, he mistyped. He put Democrats are is such. I think he meant to say Democrats are in such a panic over losing 2022 that 24 Democrats have already announced retirement, and many others who are planning on running are bowing out. Republicans are expected to sweep in November, but it remains to be seen if the polls are correct. All Tim Pool is doing is basically feeding the most active audience on YouTube what they want so they can keep paying him money. That's all. I personally don't even think he believes in half this stuff. I personally even think his views are as he expresses them. I think he's doing whatever it takes to keep all eyes on him and to keep the most active audience on YouTube or on the internet on him, paying him money. Super chats, donations, joining his site, which is timcast.com. He puts in the description section, become a member and protect our work at timcast.com. Protect our work. Why do you feel the need to protect your work, Tim? Because you know that you're full of crap? You know that you're violating the guidelines? Is this what someone has to do to trigger the YouTube algorithm? You gotta make up fake stuff, right? You gotta use clickbaity titles and thumbnails, right? And then you have to share your thoughts that are completely the opposite of what you actually believe in, because you're trying to keep that paying audience around as long as possible. As far as I'm concerned, this is fraud. This is definitely at least, it's at the very least, what am I trying to say? It's not right. It's not right. It's unethical, which is what I'm trying to say. I'm at a loss for words, folks. And this video here probably won't even get that much traction. I wanted to put my thoughts out there to see if this happens to even reach a few decent people that understand where I'm coming from. It's just ironic to me, the irony to me, that on one hand, YouTube says we want to preach a positive environment, but then on the flip side, they don't promote the positive content. They promote the negative content more than the positive content. And they made this big deal for the last several years that they're going to be, suppressing, more controversial type of content, or, content that rides the line of their community guidelines, which is what Tim Pool does every day and many others do every day. These guys not only ride the line every day, YouTube, they cross the line, yet you push out their videos more than mine. And I'm one of the most positive influences out here on the platform. I'm going to wrap up by saying this. I'm not triggered. I don't get triggered anymore. I used to get triggered. Okay? I'm not triggered. I'm disappointed. Am I a little bit upset? Yeah. Am I yelling at the top of my lungs? No. Am I raising my voice a bit? I'm very passionate about this. I've said this before, I'll say it again. There's a group of people here in the US, and I'm sure this same group of people exists in every single country, right? And here in the US, it's called the alt-right. A lot of these people on the alt-right, the Trump supporters, this is about 75 million people out of the 300, a little over 300 million people that we have, here in the U.S., that are living here in the U.S., right? Okay. So it's about 25% of the population, roughly around 25% of the population are these similar types of people, such as Tim Pool, who claims is a conservative. There are other creators like him on the platform here on YouTube that claim they are conservative, and they're not. Like I've said before, conservatives don't behave or don't think like these people do. These are alt-right Trump supporters. In my opinion, and it's just my opinion, you might think differently, especially if you are one of these people I'm talking about. Okay? If you're a Trump supporter, you're on the alt-right. There's nothing reasonable, in my opinion, about Donald J. Trump. Nothing reasonable. He's an actor, okay? He's an actor, and yeah, maybe he has some money, but I think he more so pretends to be rich because he's in a lot of debt. He's got a lot of money issues that people don't realize. He just knows how to finagle it around and keep things going. You want to support a guy that didn't take COVID seriously at the time it needed to be taken seriously. You go back to 2020, okay, where Trump had a couple of months left in office before Biden took over. And Biden started doing things that Trump should have been doing during those 2 months to try to get the COVID situation under control. What did Donald J. Trump do? He went golfing. And you guys respect that? How the hell can you respect that? The guy went golfing. Instead of taking care of this pandemic, right? This thing is real, folks. People have been dying from it. People have been hospitalized more than ever. What's it going to take for you alt-right Trump supporters to realize that, right? And this is not just happening on YouTube. My lady has been dealing with these types of people at her work. I live here in California and we're a blue state, right? We're a blue state. And yeah, we're more liberal here, but we do have some conservatives. And I'm friends with lots of them. And the real conservative friends I have that are not on the alt-right, okay, that are not Trump supporters, those are real conservatives that know Donald Trump is not a real Republican. That's my opinion, okay? Because real conservatives don't behave in the ways these alt-right people behave, right? And it's more so the alt-right men, like I keep saying, more than the women. The alt-right men are the ones that are creating all these issues. They're violating all the guidelines, not only on YouTube, but in person. My lady always makes me aware that these conservative men that come into her store, middle-aged conservative men, they're anti-mask. They're anti-vaccine. They're anti-believing that this thing is real. Folks, I'm telling you right now, I know for a fact if it wasn't for these alt-right men doing what they're doing online and offline, but more so on YouTube here, because that's where I'm trying to run my business, I would be much further ahead. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. I thought things were going to change, and they were. I will tell you, I went as far as going, I went as far as saying, during the election in 2020, that if Trump gets reelected, I'm leaving YouTube. I would have left YouTube. Because at the same time, when Trump was in office, he was trying to change Section 220 of the Communications Decency Act to make it more favorable for hate speech, and to hold platforms more accountable, legally, if they remove content, right? Why would you folks want to support a president that wants to make things more hateful? Why would you want to support someone like Trump that wants to make the world a hateful place, right? This is why you guys on the alt-right support Trump, you men on the alt-right, the Trump supporters. You support him because you hate yourselves. I think Trump hates himself too. Do you think Trump is really happy in his life? You think his marriage is real or store-bought? Come on. Do you think he's really happy and fulfilled? It's one thing to have money. It's another thing to have happiness, right? But I'm really sick and tired of these alt-right men acting like little girls, acting immaturely, insecurely, okay? Behaving in ways unlike anything I've ever seen before. I don't think these people, in my opinion, should be allowed to have a voice on social media. I think they need to be silenced. And if you want to chastise me for saying that, go for it. I do believe in freedom of speech. I just don't believe in hate. I'm going to wrap up by saying that hate is not a part of your freedom of speech. And if you want to include hate as a part of your freedom of speech, then you deserve to be silenced. You deserve to be silenced. That's where I'm going to wrap up this video here today, folks. Sorry if my rant, it was a rant, because I am frustrated. I am disappointed. I bust my ass. I want to make the world a better place. But until some of these things get taken care of, and the people I'm trying to target are not brainwashed anymore by these alt-right people, in my opinion, who knows if I'll ever trigger the algorithm. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm still going to move forward. I'm going to do whatever it takes. Right? And I may get a bunch of scrutiny from this. That's fine. You guys can talk about me all you want. I don't care. I ignore all the hate. I block all haters that try to comment on my channel or on my live stream chats. You could talk about me all day, every day. You won't even get anything at all from me. You'll get nothing. I just wanted to put this out here, raw and real, with the hopes of reaching some good people and really starting to grow a bigger audience with good people that can offset the negativity, and we can all move forward in a positive way. Have yourselves a great day. I'll see you all next time. Take care, and please be good to each other.